have to remember that the Tata Group was founded 140 years ago. Like all new companies, we were founded on a pioneering spirit, which is that we did a lot of firsts. We were the first 5-star hotel in the country, we had the first steel mill in the country, we had the first power plant in the country, we had the first Tata Institute of Social Sciences, was the first Institute of Social Sciences. So we had a very big pioneering culture at Tata Group, and the Tata Group's foundation is on that pioneering culture. So of course that has been part of the genesis of Tata Group. Now as the company grows to 140 years old, as you become a $100 billion company, as you become 550,000 people, the question becomes, how do you maintain, how do you keep, how do you sustain, how do you ignite this spirit of innovation? And admittedly, this spirit of innovation is probably not as strong today as it was in the pioneering days. And so we have to work harder to maintain that entrepreneurial, that innovative thrust in our companies. So how do we do that? So we have, now you have to remember that the Tata Group is a very decentralized organization. Our group companies are independently run. They are run by a board of directors and a management that is in place to run them. From the Tata Sons as a group level, we can't tell companies what to do. In fact, that would in any case be the antithesis of innovation. So most of the innovation we hope comes from the individual group companies as they look at their customers, they look at the underserved needs of their customers, they look at the problems that their customers are facing, and they say, how do we innovate and provide better solutions to them? The second part is that in the last 20 years, as Indian economy has opened, at Tata Group we realize that our basis for being will slowly change. And it won't be anymore that we are an Indian company and we have this great domestic market to serve. Increasingly, we'll have to become globally competitive, which means that there'll be companies coming into India, and they all have almost come into India, and they'll be competing with us on our home turf. So we have to come up with products and services which are as good as anything that the global competitors can provide. And if we can't do that, we will go out of business, which means that the reason to be is no more the fact that we are an Indian company in India and we have the domestic market all to ourselves. It's no more going to be even a cost basis, because we may not be the cheapest, right? And at Tata Group, we generally probably won't be the cheapest in any case. So what will be the basis of competition for the Tata Group? So we understand that the basis of competition for Tata companies in the future has to be innovation. And I think most Indian corporate houses are going to go through this transformation, because India as a country, we don't spend enough on innovation. Our R&D expenses are about 0.6% of our GDP. China is at 1.2%. America is at 3% plus. Most of the Western countries are at 3% plus. So there is a big innovation gap which the corporate India faces, and we are going to have to overcome that. And that gap is not only true for corporate India, it's also true for us as Tata Group, because we are part of this ecosystem that we have grown up in. So clearly, the basis of competition is changing. It's going to be more about innovation. From the Tata Group, at the center level, what we can do is just encourage, be a catalyst. But we can't tell companies what to do. We hope that each of our group companies has a management in place which looks at the problems of his company, of his customers, looks at the problems that it faces vis-a-vis its competitors, and realizes that in the end, innovation is the only way that we can win. We have to come up with better products. We have to come up with better processes. We have to come up with new ventures and new business ideas. So innovation in more broad terms, we have to kind of work on very much.